Check it out. Thursdays, 10 a.m. Mountain Time, noon Eastern. A healthy dose of Jersey Girl wisdom. Live with Rev Jersey Girl. Sponsored by New Thought Media Network. Positively inspiring.
Greetings, beloveds. I'm so glad that you're here with me. I'm kind of excited about today's show because I have decided to bring to you an Ernest Holmes classic, and it is Creative Mind and Success. But before I show you the book, in case you're seeing it for the first time, I want you to know that I chose to use, hey Wayne, good morning. I chose to bring to you or use a book that is gender neutral. I am not particularly a feminist and avoid all things in that way. But every once in a while when I'm studying and when I'm studying the science of mind, I really want to have a little bit of a greater relationship with reading the material without all the he's. And so this book, Creative Mind Success by Ernest Holmes, was rewritten by, I don't know who, you'll find it if you want to look on Amazon. And it is gender neutral. Not everything translates it perfectly well, but it does translate. Could have used a little bit more, editing. A shout out to Maureen Hoyt and those other great editors out there in the world. But it's still good. It's gender neutral. And so I want to talk to you today about some of the material in here that has had me inspired. I created a course that I taught to my community. Good morning, Dawn Lee. I created a course that I taught to my community a while back called Creative Mind and Success. And then, and I'm now developing as an evergreen program. And so at some point you can see, you'll be able to, participate in that class should you decide to. So let me start today with an opening treatment, a spiritual mind treatment, an affirmative prayer, a grounding, whatever you all want to call it. So join with me right now, knowing that there is a power and a presence and a love. It's grand. It is glorious. And as I allow it, I am consumed by the fire of its love, and is a holy, beautiful, and sacred thing. So lovely. So lovely. So I bless our time together today. I bless you. I bless your life. And I call this time good, as I call it educational and revealing, and the raising up of awareness. Let us each decide to absorb the material, accept the material, and be more because of this brilliant and beautiful material by the founder of Science of Mind, Ernest Holmes. With bountiful gratitude, I release this word and I allow it to be so. And so it is. Amen. Ashe. So I'm here. Hold on. Just indulge me for 1 second. Just one quick second, because I want to do something here. And Okay, and I have done it. Okay. So, if you know me, if you've been following my show, or if you know me as a teacher, as a minister, as a coach, um, my main the juiciness of my life is primarily governed by going in deep, by doing deep personal journey work, by doing forgiveness work, by doing shadow work. And I have created all sorts of courses. As you know, I've mentioned this a number of times. um, I've done this, huh, and I have done this because what I know is principle is not bound by precedent, but principle can be bound by our human condition and resistance. And so the more we clear out the stuff, the more available and the more of a ready vessel we are for spirit. So that's a beautiful thing. And so, yeah, I love going into the deep. I go into the deep. But today I'm bringing to you creative mind and success. And so today is not the day for me to go as deep. So here's what I tell my clients, or my students. I should say more my students, not my clients. My students, or my students, my congregants when I'm teaching them. You have a new idea, and you want to have this new idea. You want to experience this new idea. The new idea could be anything from increased love in your relationships, to more money, to a new career, greater health, anything, right? So here's what I would tell you to do if you're brand new to Science of Mind, you've never been here before, but I doubt that. Here's what I would tell you to do. You reach for the desire. Now, not reach for it because it's outside of you, but you begin to activate the law, and you keep moving in that direction. And as you demonstrate, you activate the law more, and then you just keep putting one foot in front of the other. The time that you really have to stop and look inside is if, when you're reaching, something doesn't feel like it's activated. There's a frustration. Something doesn't work. So I say this to you to say that yes, the deep dive is always good, but it's not always necessary. There are some times that we can get into the flow and allow the flow to carry us. Now, if you're in the mood for something to work in your life, if you're in the mood to increase your success, to increase even a customer base, let's talk about success for a moment in the form of business and finances. Just let's keep it there for today. A little, something a little grounded. Then creative mind success will kick you in the butt and remind you how to keep your mind focused and on target. Now, the thing about it is that because it's written so long ago, some of the references and examples are a little outdated. You just update them. You do what you have to do to drench yourself in the teaching. All right, that's what you do. Don't worry about the language in the book. You turn it around. So I'm gonna jump through some things, and then I do have a diagram for you, and I also have there was a page in here. It was a whole chapter in here. His chapters are very small. It's not a big book. His chapter on money as a spiritual idea is brilliant. It's brilliant. And just like I've done in the past, if you want a copy of that document, or you want a copy of the other form that I'm going to show you a little later on in the show, all you have to do is email me. Email me at revjerseygirl, and I will send you the stuff because I want to get it in your hands. I don't know about other metaphysical teachers, but I'm sure they're with me. We don't ever want to do this stuff alone. We don't ever want to do this stuff alone. We want people to play with. So for me specifically, I just want to keep lifting and empowering others. I want us to be playing in that same big pool. Anyway, that's my motivation. So I'm not going to give you page numbers or anything else like this because you might have the old Creative Mind and Success, um, but you'll just follow along. And he starts on the very first page is just 6 words. 6 words. You got to understand that these 6 words are the entire teaching. Life is, and life is consciousness. We are not here to treat for or to try to demonstrate form. We are here to treat for and expand consciousness. Because when we expand consciousness and expand success in who we are, when I come out of, oh yeah, sometimes I do good, sometimes I don't, and I lift myself up to get to the place where I am confident, I know what to do, I know how to do it, and I know this because God as me knows this, and I expand my awareness, expand my relationship with God, it doesn't just impact one thing, it impacts my life in total. That's what we are here to do. We are here to expand consciousness. So, how much of that which exists may we call life? The answer would have to be that life is all there is. It is the reason for all that we see, hear, feel, for all that we experience in any way. Nothing from nothing leaves nothing. And it is impossible for something to proceed from nothing. Since something exists, that from which it came must be all that is. Life, then, is all there is. Everything comes from it, including us. What this is basically saying is that everything that's in your heart, every desire that you have, already exists. It already exists. Now, I know this, and I know you probably know this, and I know you've probably studied this, but I, for one, have never been distracted by hearing it again. Sometimes I think we get distracted by life. And so by hearing it again, we shore up that which we know. He goes on to say on another page, law obtains throughout or all nature, governing all things, both the seen and the unseen. This is very important. Law is not physical and material, but mental and spiritual. Law is God's method of operation. Get that? Law is God's method of operation. We should think of God as the Great Spirit whose sole impulse is love, freely giving of itself to all who ask and refusing none. God is our creator in every sense of the term, watching over, caring for, and loving all the same. While all is love, in order that things may not be chaotic, all is also governed by law. As far as you and I are concerned, the law is always mental. This is critical. Now I'm going to go back to the first line of what I just read. Law obtains throughout all nature, governing things, all things, both seen and unseen. Please know that raising yourself, part of raising in the act of raising your self-awareness, let me say it this way. Through the act of raising your self-awareness, it is absolutely critical that you realize that the law responds to your spoken word, but it absolutely responds to your unspoken word. That's why with Ernest Holmes' most quoted quote, change your thinking, change your life, I have turned it into Change your thinking, feeling, pondering, daydreaming. Change your life. Because sometimes we get caught in these unconscious moments. We'll drive in the car and it's almost like we think God isn't listening. Well, if all there is spirit, if all there is God, and if you are of it totally and there's no separation between you and God itself, then every thought you think, every ponderance, everything that passes through your consciousness is being reacted to and responded upon by law. Now, this is where it can get a little crazy making. And I don't want you to feel hyper about, oh my God, I have to say everything right. I have to think everything right. But truth, if you want to experience the life of your highest desires, you have to clear up those undisciplined thinking habits and the undisciplined thinking habits. You must stop with the undisciplined thinking and get on board so that you're creating your life consciously, spoken and unspoken, on a regular basis, on an absolutely regular basis, to the highest degree that you can. If our conditions are not controlled by thought, by what then are they controlled? Some say that conditions are controlled by circumstances. Oh no. But what are circumstances? Are they cause or are they effect? Effect. Of course, they are always effect. Everything that we see is an effect. An effect is something that follows cause, and we are dealing with causation only. Effects do not make themselves, but are held in place by mind and not by causation. So here's, if it could be measured, it's effect. Form follows thought. As within, so without. As above, so below. Those three little quick statements, remembered and acted upon, will guide you and re-guide you to cleaner, clearer thinking. Okay, so I want to divert for a moment because we're talking about cause and effect. So, Diego, maybe you could put up that form for me now. So this is a form that I created. It was clunky at first, and I kept refining it. You won't be able to see it here real well. So I'm going to talk you through it, and I'm willing to send you this email. Just email me at revjerseygirl. I will send this to you. So in the bottom left, under effect, the circle that says effect. On the bottom left, that's step 1. And that's where I will tell you to fill in the bottom circle with a list of current situations and experiences that you desire to transform. So let's say in that bottom left, we put increased abundance. Okay. Step 2, on the left, fill in the top left circle with the thinking cause, the belief that caused the effect. So that's where we start to get conscious. So if I'm not experiencing the abundance that I desire, I now want to become conscious so I can catch that thinking on a regular basis. You can get rid of the document if you want now, Diego. And so then what I do is I think to myself, okay, I can see that I have not believed in myself. I can see that I adopted the limitations of my parents. I can see that I believe I'm not worthy or not enough. But I get conscious of it because only once we're conscious can we transform it. You can't transform things without first raising your awareness. Awareness is curative. Awareness is necessary. So on step 3, we set a new idea in motion for a new experience. Okay, let me repeat. Bottom left, we say, oh, I want to transform my abundance. Top left, we say, why? What has limited me? Oh, I believe I'm not enough. On the right, now I say, I choose to believe that I'm worthy of good all the time. Beautiful. And because that's in our conscious, because our conscious mind is our gatekeeper, I now affirm my wholeness. I affirm my abundance. I affirm my worthiness in a conscious way. And then with 4 at the bottom, we go back down to effect with a new idea, a new consciousness. What new reality can you expect? So, what you do is now you fill in this form to say, okay, how will you recognize it? What is the accountable, measurable, how will you know that how will you measurably take stock of the shift of your mindset? So for me, step 4, if I'm talking about abundance, would be, oh, I have more clients. I see that I have more clients. More clients are reaching out to me. And then what we do as part of this new idea is we choose a trigger to remind you to affirm your truth. So for example, following this whole thing, the affirmation that I might use, or the mantra, or whatever you want to call it, would be, I am worthy of good all the time. I am worthy of my good all the time. Or it might be, my abundance grows as my consciousness grows. My abundance grows as my consciousness grows. And I take from my conscious mind, the gatekeeper, and I begin to plant the seeds of a new idea. Now, a lot of teachers will tell you to just start with affirmations. I encourage you to begin with this practice because through raising your awareness of what's in the way, you expand the circle of your influence over yourself. It's not as if doubt won't come up again, but if doubt comes up again, if you have felt through this and you know the feeling nature of that limiting idea, when it comes up, you'll catch it, catch it, catch it, catch it. We call this in coaching, I call it either stalking or tracking. Because when you realize, oh my God, I have tried to raise my income level, but I've been believing that I'm not worthy. So once your self-awareness matches your affirmation, and now you've done that inner work or part of it, once you've done that work, now you have a complete package. You have a complete package. Now, I'm going to go back to the book. Something that we as metaphysicians and science of mind students get tripped up on sometimes, because and I know I teach to take responsibility for my life. And I know that in the past, okay, I have confused taking responsibility with creating. Ernest Holmes says, and catch this, we do not really create. We use creative power that already exists. Okay. What this is saying, in case you haven't caught this before, it's just like in saying, the power and the presence of the one loving one, the Father within does the work. The Mother Father power within does the work. Because when we think we create, often we confuse being one with the creative power with our ego, as if, because I have Michelle, I don't know how to create new clients. I mean, I know how to advertise, I know how to sell myself, but that law of attraction that I want to activate means I must lean into spirit. And so when I'm doing that, I'm trusting that I'm not creating the activity, that God as me is creating that activity. You get that? Okay. Let's move on. We must use the right attitude of mind in all that we do, filling ourselves with such courage and power of strength that all thought of weakness flees before us. I'm going to repeat that. We must use the right attitude of mind in all that we do, filling ourselves with such courage and power of strength that all thought of weakness flees before us. If any thoughts of weakness should come, ask this question: is life weak? Which means, is God weak? If life is not weak and if God is not discouraged, then you are not, never were, and never will be. Sickly, discouraged thought cannot withstand this attitude of mind. It is absolutely imperative that you change your mind, you keep it changed, you subscribe to the change, you return to the changed mind, and you look the desire in the eye, not the distraction. Let the distraction be over here. Look it straight in the eye. Oh my God, I got so excited about this material in this book. I didn't stop to say to you, talk about abundance. Let's raise abundance for the New Thought Media Network right now. You could even stop watching me for the moment and I'd be okay about that. Go on to ntmedia.org and give some money. Give some money. If you value what you receive and if what you receive has benefited you, support this station. They are worthy of your support. And yes, the links for the donation are on the page. Please give something. The best would be to give something, even if it's small, on a monthly basis. They would love to be able to set up a budget that included your donations monthly. $100 a month is great, but they'll take $25 a month. You don't have $25 a month, give them $10 a month. Give something. If for no other reason, it opens the flow. To expect to expand without being part of that expansion is silly thinking. Okay. So out of the material so far, and this is just my notes, this is me translating Holmes. We have to think success and then act accordingly. Act accordingly. And he's pretty definite at the end of this book, saying that if you want to create increase, you have to do something. There's always that debate: am I a human being or a human doing, and I have to be before I could do? Yeah. If you want to increase success in your life, if you want to increase success in your business, first of all, get this book, read it cover to cover, and keep reading it cover to cover. But you have to do something. So you think success and act accordingly. You think forward to what you desire and set plans accordingly. Set plans. What does that mean? That means if I'll give you a silly example, but this is the way it works. If you want to work one-on-one with clients, and you're a coach or a counselor or a practitioner, what do? Set up a place in your house to receive clients. Clean up a room. Make it beautiful. And act as if that's the sacred and holy place you do the work. If you are a business owner or a store owner and you want to increase business, what you do is you walk in there every day, you bless that place, you open the door, put out a pot of coffee for customers, let them feel like they've walked in at home. And I love how Ernest Holmes says at the end of the book, he'll say, move things around in the store so energy is moving. Keep energy moving so people don't walk into stale energy. And so the best way to do that is, even if it's moving product around, Move product from here to there. Make yourself available. Be of service to humans. Be of service. This is a great way to act. Yes, what good goes around and around. And if you want to receive good, be the good and act accordingly. And if think love and act from that love. Think love and act from that love. So the last thing I'm going to read to you from the book today is this. All the power of the universe is with you. Let's say that again. All the power of the universe is with you. Feel it, know it, and then act as though it were true. This mental attitude alone will draw people and situations to you. Again, as always, I repeat. I repeat a lot because I learned that from David White. Mine is not poetry, but I do have learned the value of repeating things. All the power of the universe is with you. Feel it, know it, and then act as though it were true. This mental attitude alone will draw people and situations to you. So, look at me. Look at me right now. Look into Facebook, on your phone, wherever you are. You are one with this one. The power, the presence of the one, the intelligence is who you are. It's who you have always been. The quicker that you say yes to it, the quicker and the more definite that you accept your divine birthright, the more you will demonstrate it. And you will demonstrate it more quickly. You are one with this one, deserving of all good all the time. Can you right now put your hand on your heart, if you will, and just silently, as I say this to you, just silently think to yourself, I deserve all good. I am one with the one, and my birthright is abundance. My birthright is beauty and health and wholeness. This is who I am. And then feel into that. That's what we're looking to do. We are looking to activate that reality. So the other document that I want to send you, in case you decide you don't want to buy the whole book, is I ask you to email me again at revjerseygirl@gmail.com. And I have typed out the entire chapter, the one chapter on money as a spiritual idea. I'll read one little chapter to you so you could get it, but the whole thing is a single page. It really is a pretty simple book. The power of it has nothing to do with the length of the book, or the specific words. It's just what Ernest Holmes has infused in this beautiful book. If everything is an expression of life, then money is also an expression of life, and as such must be good. Without a certain amount of money in this world, we would have a hard time. But how do we acquire wealth? Money doesn't make itself, so not being self-creative, it must be an effect. Behind money must be the same cause that projects it. That cause is never seen because no cause is ever seen. Consciousness is cause. Consciousness is cause. And people who have a money consciousness have the outward expression of it. People who don't have this mental likeness won't. So, you and I are here to increase and expand consciousness. Now, if you're good with money and that's not the thing, replace it with whatever you want. More love, more friends, more creativity. Maybe you're an artist, a musician, a poet, a potter, and you want to free the creative juices of spirit itself to download through you and have this juicy experience, then believe in yourself. Believe in the presence of God as you. And let nothing deter you. Nothing. So I'm going to treat again today on behalf of each of us. Once again, please email me at revjerseygirl@gmail.com if you want both documents, or maybe I'll just send you both documents. And I'm always here. If you need something, just reach out to me. I'm happy to support you in the increase of your life and your awakeness. So know with me right now that there is a power, a presence, and a love, a glorious, amazing, and sacred essence of good. It flows in, through, and as each one of us every moment of every day. Oh my God, it's beautiful. It is beautiful, it is sacred, it is holy. So I declare on behalf of each individual listening that the goodness, the grace, the potency of God shows up in, through, and as your life now. Now, God is so pleased that you have embraced the fullness of your being. It is truly a beautiful, holy, and sacred thing. I believe in you. I do. I believe in the place in you that aligns with the one. And with bountiful gratitude, I surrender this word to love, to law, and to the awe of life itself. And so it is. I love you. I thank you. I'll see you next week. Be well, be happy, and for God's sake, be brilliant. I'll see you soon.
New Thought Media Network is on the rise. We're looking to grow with you. Do you have technical media experience, or perhaps a desire to learn? Are you willing to volunteer your precious time and attention? We share this message to benefit all. If you possess a computer with a camera and a microphone, we will share our knowledge with you. Behind the scenes or being the star, let us bless our one. Contact us at info@ntmedia.org.
Faith, love, openness, willingness.